Also, here's the interesting part about Durk's phone. They apparently seized the phone from Durk, and in seizing the phone from Durk, the cops have said to this date they cannot get into the phone to get all the possible evidence they think is there. Okay? They're saying, let me read through this. Okay. So Durk wanted to suppress the phone. They said that the seizure of the phone wasn't lawful. They said that Durk admitted firing his gun. That alone gave, okay. Interesting. That's why. My bad. I probably got to read this. This is document 537. Okay, bet. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So that's what happened. So when this happened, chat, this incident happened. This happened in, I believe, 2021, right? I believe so. Okay, give me 1 second. I just want to get the timestamp on it. Why can't we see the timestamp? Yeah, it was 2021 though. Okay. So what happened was, I think they seized Durk's phone. So they seized Durk's phone after this incident. Okay? And when they seized this phone after this incident, they've kind of hung on to it and still trying to investigate it. Right? So Durk is trying to suppress this phone. The government is saying that phone probably got evidence of the other criminal stuff he was doing, because the crimes were spanning in that time. So we needed to take his phone anyway, and we seized it for some other shit, which was the shooting at his house. Durk is saying, no, you took it for one reason, and that reason it shouldn't even be took, so you can't, it's called fruit of the poisonous tree. You can't, whatever you would even find on the phone, or even taking my phone at all, you can't just take my phone and use it for any case in the future. It doesn't work like that. You can't just keep hold of my phone and then come up with 10 other cases, and then when you find a legit case, you're like, oh, okay, open your phone now. It doesn't work like that. That also worked with Young Thug. Young Thug got one of his phone suppressed and got it back after it was ruled that when his phone got seized, when they searched his house, they couldn't get in the phone for a couple years. And then it was later found out he wasn't going to get charges, or he settled whatever legal issues. And the government or the judges said, y'all could return his property. They never returned his property. So they had to force the government, his lawyers had to force the judge to have them hand the phone back, and they were still pussyfooting around with the phone. Then he gets indicted for the RICO, and then they want to use the phone. And essentially they got it suppressed by saying, we should have gotten that phone back. You can't keep my phone in custody and just keep finding cases when the first thing y'all took it for, basically, there's no charges emanating from that. So that's kind of what Durk is trying to say, saying, hey, y'all got no charges related to that case. Y'all couldn't get in the phone or didn't find nothing of substance. You can't use anything from the phone. And you know what the feds are going to say? Well, we think the phone had stuff to do with this current case, just a smaller version of it, right? Because now they're charging with damn near conspiracy. They argue that even if the warrant didn't cover this, the seizure was justified as the police were lawfully in the house. They could see the phone, and they had good reason, his felony, his gang ties, and him not being cooperative, to believe it had evidence that could be destroyed. They further argued, this is the government, that if there was some flaw, it doesn't taint what came later. The second Georgia warrant explicitly said the police could keep a digital copy for later use. So holding on to it for years wasn't a problem it was authorized in writing. They also argued that the FBI agents who got the 2026 warrant had nothing to do with the 2021 seizure. They weren't a part of the investigation. They didn't make the seizure and got their own independent warrant based on their own independent probable cause. They said the contents of the phone that they could find right now is screenshot of the messages discussing TL release on bond. What's TL? Who's TL, chat? TL release on bond. Who's TL? Does anyone know who TL is? Who's TL? Is that Little Tim? Okay, okay, all right. Okay, yeah, all right. So let me look at Little Tim's name. Little Tim, real name. Okay, Timothy Leaks. Yep, yep. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So they're saying that Durk had screenshots of messages discussing Lil Tim's release on bond. So it looked like he wanted Lil Tim getting clapped too. And he was getting the address of his house arrest. So he wanted to know where Lil Tim was going to be at. Yo, Durk was on a bad timing. Yo, Durk was on bad timing, chat. I ain't even going to lie to you. Durk was trying to kill a nigga on house arrest. He was trying to, Durk was trying to go see a nigga on house arrest, bruv. Durk was gonna see the nigga on house arrest. This nigga Durk is on a different type of timing. Okay. So he wanted the address of the house. Yo, Durk is one of them niggas, he gonna get you in your crib, nigga. Yo, Durk is a different type of demon. Durk can't wait. Yo, Durk realized that he couldn't catch Quando at a show. He said, fine, we're gonna catch you in your crib. Nigga, we gonna catch you by your refrigerator. Fuck it. Fuck it. Nigga, we gonna catch you in the shower, nigga. Fuck it. We ain't got time for this shit, man. We ain't got time. Yo, all of that slide for Durk shit, man, Durk was trying to get GPS coordinates, nigga. Durk was literally trying to get Durk was. You want some coordinates, call? Like, that you can read on the globe? You know what I'm talking about. What them shits called? That you can read on the globe. It's like Breaking Bad, nigga. It's like Breaking Bad. Like, that's what Durk was on. What's them shits called? What's them shits called, chat? Latitude and longitude, nigga. Like, yo, this nigga Durk was on some different type of shit. This nigga had the latitude and longitude to this nigga living room, yo. This nigga Durk wanted that nigga dead bad. Yo, this nigga had a UAV. Yo, what's up with this nigga Durk? I'm gonna be honest with you. After seeing this, y'all don't feel bad for telling Durk to slide. Nigga, Durk was trying everything he could to slide, nigga. Like, yo, I'm sorry. Yo, this is why when 6ix9ine said he tricked Durk off the street. I ain't gonna lie. All y'all niggas owe Durk an apology. This nigga Durk was trying everything he possibly could to kill him niggas. Everything. Everything, nigga. Yo, catch him at a gas station. Yo, they drive an electric car. They don't get gas. Catch him at a corner store. Yo, they live in Savannah. They don't go. Yo, catch him at the show. Nigga, they cancel the show. Yo. Go get his ankle monitor. Yo, this nigga Durk was on a different type of timing, nigga. Yo, he in LA. Yo, book the flight to LA. Like, we going to LA. I'm not gonna be honest with you. I've never seen a nigga more determined to get a nigga dead. He wanted the address on Lil Tim's house arrest. He was posting screenshots of advertising TB's Taekwon Bowman, which is a Quando Rondo show. He had screenshots of social media posts saying that TB was shot at in Georgia. Yo, Durk was thirsty, man. Nah, Durk was thirsty, gang. Durk was thirsty, bruv. What? Nah, Durk was thirsty, bro. Nah, this is insane. Hold on. Nah, this is insane. Hold on. Hold up. Let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. Oh, no, this is not by the phone. This is not by the phone. No. Wait, why are we at 54? No, it's 133. What the hell? Wait, what? Oh, no, it's at 130. Okay. This one, my bad. This is it. This is it, chat. Okay. Okay. So they told me how they seized the phone. The Brazeltown County shootout on July 11th. Remember? He used to live in Brazelton. On the morning of July 11th, local law enforcement responded to a suspected home invasion of the defendant's home. When officers arrived, the defendant was not at the residence. So officers conducted a protective sweep where they found evidence that multiple firearms had been used in what amounted to a shootout at the time. Specifically, officers found spent shells in and around the house, suspected narcotics near a large bag of money on a bed, and a declaration of blah, blah, blah set forth. Law enforcement did not believe the defendant was forthcoming in the investigation, including the defendant's claim that he merely shot his firearm into the air as the home invasion suspects fled. The officers learned additional information that warranted additional investigation on the defendant's conduct. They seized this phone, okay? So later that morning, okay, including ASAC Lisa Vorasi, were contacted by the Brazelton law enforcement regarding the suspected home invasion. At the time, ASAC Vorasi was a veteran with the GBI and with extensive experience working on violent crime firearm offenses, including gang-related crime. A part of the investigation, they assigned 2 gang detectives to the case, and given Banks' known membership in the Black Disciples criminal gang, that's what they did. During investigators' initial investigation and protective sweep of the property, investigators learned that there was a gunfight between Banks and a family member. See? Chat, remember, didn't I tell you that? Banks and a family member won. Ooh, remember when I told y'all this shit it sounded funny? And y'all were like, stop snitching. Bro, the cops know everything, gang. That was not no op that ran up in there. Look, you see what the cops are saying now? That was a gunfight between Banks and family member 1 who lived with the defendant at the time. On one hand, multiple suspects, on the one hand, and never mind. Ooh, never mind. Okay, now I'm tripping. My bad. Rewind. My bad. I'm wrong. Banks and family, no, this is India they're talking about. My bad. Sorry. My bad. They said Banks and family member, they didn't put India's name in it. I thought they were saying between Banks and somebody in the crib, because there's no forced entry. A home invasion with no forced entry is a backdoor, or like how the ops get in the crib. That's either a backdoor or, anyway, whatever. So Banks and India, who live with them, on one hand, and multiple suspected home intruders on the other. Sorry. So, let's go with law enforcement, whatever you say. Law enforcement learned that both the defendant Banks and the member admitted to fire their weapons. India and Durk fired, including defendant Banks' admission he fired his weapon into the air 5 or 6 times. As a suspected intruder fled, and investigators saw multiple firearms in the backyard of the residence and multiple spent carriage inside the home. Approximately 11 a.m. that morning, they received a criminal history of defendant Banks, which identified he was a 2-time convicted felon, and with the defendant Banks' criminal history attached. I wonder why they didn't charge him with felon in possession, but they probably have a bunch of what do you call it again? It's called the Castle Doctrine. It's kind of interesting. Castle Doctrine is like almost like a universal law that even in cities and states, like for example, even New Jersey, where guns are like really heavily restricted, it says when you're in your house, it's a place that it's your castle and you could defend yourself. But it's even more liberal. It's even way better than like a stand your ground when it comes to like places like Georgia. It basically means you go in somebody's crib, they should kill you. One of those. So even though technically he's a felon, he shouldn't have a gun. The Castle Doctrine probably weighs more in favor of the law enforcement not charging him, right? Because it's not like this guy had a gun outside of his house. Intruders came in, then he used the gun, right? Castle Doctrine, he's protecting him, his life, his well-being, everybody around him in his house. It's a little bit different. Okay. They wanted to search the afternoon they got a search warrant for the house. Wow. So they did a search warrant on the house. Relevant here, the warrant authorizes seizure of of electronic devices and personal belongings of the perpetrator may have left behind. That would aid in identification of the perpetrators. Okay. So that's why Durk wants it suppressed. So it looked like they took a phone that was initially meant to be the phone of the perpetrators or the home intruders, right? Okay. In support of the warrant, it's submitted, blah, blah, blah. The police responded, okay. The defendant were reluctant to allow investigators to search the home and their car for evidence related to the crime. Okay. They claimed they didn't know why they would be targets of a home invasion. There was a large amount of money on the bed.